So the HESTIA project employs a participatory approach for the design of the platform. What that means is that we have co-creation in the center of this as a way to involve not just users actively, but also all of the other partners involved in the development of this demand response platform. The reason for that is that we need to understand people's everyday lives. We need to see in what way it's meaningful for them to start doing some changes within their homes, but also how this is coordinating along the rest of their lives. So their regular routines and how they can actually, one change can affect a lot of other changes in the way that we perform our everyday tasks. So it's important to take that perspective and make it a more holistic approach for the system that we're creating. So there are multiple ways that we do that, and it's an ongoing. First of all, we try and keep a continuous line of communication, and people are involved at all the different stages. So we started by having a survey, for example, to understand the context in that general socio-demographic area and in what way people are engaging with energy technologies. And then we started doing a lot of workshops and focus groups. We also recognized early on that there were issues that were coming out of the interactions that we had. So, for example, we saw that the technologies are not neutral. They come in and they are already gendered, and they create some sort of inequality in the way that they're used in the home. So we then run targeted women-only, for example, focus groups, just to understand in what way in our specific communities the women, for example, that we found that operate the majority of the household tasks are engaging with technology. So we try to customize the engagement strategy according to what we found on the way. So it was a kind of ongoing process of getting participation according to the state. Co-creation as a process is quite challenging and quite time and resource intensive. It's not easy. So first of all, we need to develop some common value of why we're doing it. And so there was the process internally, so understanding within the consortium why we need to co-create between us, but also how we co-create with users. So the different things that we have done is, for example, in order to address that both within the community, within the consortium and outside with the communities, we started by doing workshops and kind of meetings between us to define a common understanding of the issues that we had at each stage of the project. That has not always worked very well. We've had a lot of challenges, and that's primarily because there are partners from a lot of different disciplines, a lot of different aspects, and it's initially very hard to find this common language, if you like, or something that we can find the common ground and agree on. According to the needs of each pilot, we have identified different ways that it's more meaningful to talk to people. So that requires a lot of skill and a lot of patience, but also it's very hard in terms of the data we collect, because then we have a very rich and wide variety of things that we need to look and evaluate. So overall, co-creation is a very useful process and a very good way to identify issues of diversity, of inclusivity, especially with energy technologies, to create a trust in the community, to bring a shared vision. But at the same time, it has a lot of challenges in the sense of how it's applied, how it's evaluated, and how it's managed in the consortium, and how it's valued generally by not just the consortium itself, but the people that obviously evaluate our projects and also society as a whole. So